There is a quiet ache that arrives only in the dark. It doesn't knock. It doesn't announce itself. It simply settles in the stillness of your room, a heavy blanket of unspoken feeling. It is the weight of a peculiar question, one that whispers when the distractions of the day have finally faded. Did I miss it? Did life, with all its color and noise and motion, somehow happen while I was looking the other way? Tonight, as you rest here, we will not push that feeling away. We will simply wonder together if this ache is not an ending, but an invitation. An invitation to understand that the story of your life is far from over. In fact, you are holding the pen right now. As you settle into the space around you, just notice where you are in this world. Feel the unique quiet of your corner of the planet. Is it late night? The air thick with the sleep of others? Or is it the hushed, pre-dawn hours when the world holds its breath, waiting for the sun? Wherever you are, whatever time it is, know that this moment belongs completely to you. This is a sanctuary, a place to gently set down the heavy story that it might be too late. Here, in this shared stillness, we will create a space for a deeper, kinder truth to emerge. The truth that your life is, and always has been, unfolding in its own perfect, unrepeatable way. Let that thought just rest in the air for a moment, not as something to believe, but just as a possibility, a seed of peace planted in the quiet soil of the night. Feel the gentle pull of gravity, the way your body is held and supported by the surface beneath you. There is no effort required in this. You are being held. And as you are held, you can begin to let go. Allow your shoulders to soften, releasing a tension you might not have even known you were carrying. Allow your jaw to unclench, letting a little space come between your teeth. Feel the muscles around your eyes relax, smoothing away the focus of the day. This is the first step, simply arriving in the safety of your own body, in the quiet of this present moment. The feeling you carry, this sense of having been left behind, is a profoundly human experience. It feels incredibly personal, intensely isolating, as if you are the only one standing on the shore, watching all the ships sail away without you. But you are not alone in this. So many souls have stood on that same shore, feeling that same cold wind, wondering if their vessel will ever come in. The mind is a powerful storyteller, and one of its favorite tales is the one about the single, straight path. It shows you images, snapshots of other lives that seem so linear, so successful. The graduation, the dream job, the perfect wedding, the happy family. It presents these as chapters in a book that everyone else is reading, while you feel stuck on the first page. But this story is an illusion. It is a highlight reel that leaves out all the messy, confusing, and painful scenes. It doesn't show the years of struggle, the moments of paralyzing doubt, the secret griefs, the long, lonely nights. Every life, when viewed from the inside, is a winding road filled with unexpected detours, quiet rest stops, and overgrown paths that lead to surprising destinations. Your path is no different. It has not been a mistake. Every step, every pause, every moment of confusion has been part of a journey that could only be yours. The time you feel you have lost was not empty. It was a time of deep, unseen work. Perhaps it was a time of healing from wounds no one else could see. Perhaps it was a time of survival, of just getting through the day, which is a monumental act of courage in itself. Or perhaps it was a time of quiet gestation, where the person you are becoming was slowly, silently forming in the dark like a seed underground. We are so often taught to measure our lives by external achievements, by the milestones we can check off a list. But the truest measure of a life is in its depth. It's in the wisdom gained through hardship, the compassion forged in loneliness, the resilience built in moments of despair. By this measure, your life is immeasurably rich. You have navigated so much to be here, in this bed, breathing in this moment. That is not a failure. That is a triumph of the human spirit. So tonight, let's begin to change the narrative. Not by force, but by a gentle turning of the head. We turn our attention away from the imagined lives of others and toward the quiet, steady reality of our own breath, in and out, a simple rhythm that has been with you since the moment you were born. It has never left you. It is the anchor of your present moment. With each inhale, imagine you are breathing in a sense of gentle acceptance. Acceptance for the path you have walked, exactly as it was. And with each exhale, imagine you are releasing the heavy burden of should have. Releasing the tight grip of comparison. Releasing the painful belief that you are behind. Just for tonight, you don't have to carry that anymore. You can set it down, right here, at the edge of sleep. There is a deep peace in letting go of the old map. The map you were given as a child, the one that showed a straight line from A to B to C. Perhaps your life wasn't meant to be a straight line. Perhaps it was meant to be a beautiful, meandering river, with periods of rushing rapids and times of deep, still pools. Both are essential parts of the river's journey to the sea. The stillness you experienced was not a sign of being stuck. It was a necessary part of your flow. It was a time for water to gather, to deepen, to clarify. Think of the great trees in a forest. They do not grow frantically every single day. They have seasons of explosive growth in the spring and long, quiet seasons of dormancy in the winter. But in that winter stillness, they are not dead or lost. They are gathering strength, deepening their roots, preparing for the bloom that is to come. Your winter seasons were not wasted time. They were the periods where your roots grew deep, grounding you in a strength and wisdom that you can now draw upon. The person you are today could not exist without every single one of those quiet, challenging, and confusing moments. You are the sum of all your seasons. And perhaps, just perhaps, your most beautiful season of blooming is still ahead. Some of the most breathtaking flowers, after all, only bloom late in the year, long after the flurry of spring has passed. Their beauty is not less for its timing. It is more profound, a testament to endurance and the surprising grace of life. As you lie here, feel the truth of this in your body. Let a wave of gentleness wash over you, a sense of profound permission to be exactly where you are. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a life in progress, a story still being written. And the most beautiful part is that you have no idea what wonderful plot twists await you in the coming chapters. The fear that life has passed you by is born from the illusion that time is your enemy, a relentless taskmaster cracking a whip. But what if time is actually your friend, a patient, winding river carrying you exactly where you need to go? It has held you through every storm, and it is holding you now in the calm waters of this night. There is nothing you need to do to earn your place. There is no race to win. Your only task right now is to rest, to surrender to the gentle current of this moment, and to trust that the river knows the way. Allow the words to fade now and just rest in the feeling behind them. The feeling of peace, the feeling of release, the quiet, hopeful feeling that it is not, and never was, too late. Your journey is valid. Your timing is perfect. Your life is now. And here, in the sanctuary of this night, you can simply be. You can simply rest. Let sleep come as a gentle friend, taking your hand and leading you into a space of deep, restorative peace. The story can wait until morning. For now, there is only the soft darkness, the steady breath, and the comforting knowledge that you are exactly where you need to be. Let's gently turn our attention now to a very specific feeling. It's the feeling of being on the sidelines of your own life. Perhaps it feels like you are sitting in a quiet, dark theater, watching a brilliant, fast-moving film that is supposed to be about you. But you are not in the film. You are only in the audience. You can see the action, hear the music, watch the characters laugh and cry and live, but you are separate from it. There is an invisible screen between you and the vibrancy of it all. This is the quiet, pervasive sense of being an observer, not a participant. It is one of the most subtle and profound forms of loneliness a person can experience. It's not the loud emptiness of a vacant room, but the silent ache of a crowded one, where you feel invisible. As you rest here, let's simply acknowledge this feeling without any need to fix it or push it away. We are just going to sit with it in this safe space and allow it to be seen. Think of those moments that bring this feeling to the surface. A phone call brings news of a friend's promotion. A colorful envelope arrives in the mail, inviting you to a wedding or a baby shower. Or, in the quiet glow of your phone screen, a stream of images flows by. Smiling couples buying their first home, friends gathered for a milestone birthday, breathtaking photos from a trip you once dreamed of taking. In those moments, what happens inside of you? There is often a flash, a pang that is sharp and quick. It's a complex mix of happiness for the other person, intertwined with a deep personal sorrow for yourself. It's the quiet whisper of the life you imagined, the timeline you thought you would be on. This feeling is not envy in its harshest form. It's softer than that. It is a form of grief. You are mourning a life you haven't yet lived, a self you haven't yet become. And this is a lonely kind of mourning, because there is no ceremony for it. There are no flowers or comforting words from others for the loss of a future that existed only in your heart. You carry this quiet sorrow alone, often feeling ashamed of it, as if it's wrong to feel a pang of sadness when someone else is celebrating. But let's be very clear here, in the safety of this space. There is nothing wrong with that feeling. It is profoundly human. It is the natural response of a heart that is full of longing, full of dreams, full of a deep capacity for love and joy and connection. The pain you feel is simply a measure of how much you wanted it. It is a testament to the beautiful, vibrant hopes you have carried in your soul. So we will not judge this feeling tonight. We will witness it. Imagine you can hold it gently in your hands. It is not ugly. It is not a sign of failure. It is just a feeling, an energy, a message from a deep part of you that is saying, I am still here. I still hope. I still long for more. This sense of being on the sidelines can make you feel as though you are behind an invisible wall of glass. You can see everything clearly. You see the laughter, the intimacy, the shared jokes, the easy belonging. You can press your hands against the glass, but you cannot pass through. The sounds are muffled. The warmth of the fire on the other side doesn't reach you. You are a spectator to the warmth of human connection, and that can feel incredibly cold. This experience can make you feel as though your own life story is stalled, paused on a single, uneventful page, while everyone else's book is filled with dramatic, exciting new chapters. And because your story feels quiet, it can feel unimportant. You may even have begun to believe that you don't have a story worth telling. When friends gather and share their news of new loves, new challenges, new adventures, you may find yourself growing quiet, offering a smile and congratulations, while inside you feel a slow retreat. What is there to share, you wonder, when your life feels like a landscape of sameness? The truth is, the story of stillness, the story of waiting, the story of navigating the quiet in-between spaces, is one of the most powerful and courageous stories there is. It just isn't celebrated on the highlight reels. We are validating this unique sorrow tonight. We are giving it a name and a place. It's the grief for the unlived life, for the experiences you feel you were denied or missed. It is a real and significant emotional experience. Allow yourself to feel the truth of that. The path you have walked has been, for a time, a quieter one, a more solitary one, and it has taken immense strength to keep walking it while the sounds of celebration echoed from other paths all around you. Each time you felt that pang of loneliness and kept going, you were demonstrating a profound resilience. Each time you offered a genuine smile to a friend in their moment of joy, even while your own heart ached, you were practicing a deep and difficult form of generosity. Do not discount this strength. It has been forged in the quiet fire of your experience. The feeling is like hearing a beautiful piece of music, a song that resonates deep within your soul. You can feel the rhythm, you understand the melody, and your heart wants to move with it. But it feels as though you were never taught the steps. So you stand still by the side of the dance floor, watching everyone else move with an ease that seems so natural, so effortless. You might even tap your foot quietly, a small secret movement of participation. But you don't join in, for fear of looking clumsy, for fear of not knowing the dance, for fear of confirming your own belief that you don't truly belong there. Tonight, let's just notice that you are standing there. We are not going to force you onto the dance floor. We are simply going to acknowledge your presence on the sidelines. We are going to honor the longing in your heart to dance. We are going to sit with you in the quiet and listen to the music together. There is no shame in being here. This is just one part of your story, a single scene. Think of this moment now as an intermission. The main lights in the theater are still down, but a soft, gentle light has come on, right where you are sitting. It is a light of self-awareness, of self-compassion. You are not judging the character on the screen, and you will not judge yourself, the quiet audience member. You are simply noticing the feeling of separation, noticing the weight of the loneliness, noticing the shape of the grief for the life you imagined. By simply noticing, without judgment, something magical begins to happen. The feeling, once seen and acknowledged, begins to lose some of its power. It is no longer a dark, unnamed monster in the shadows. It is simply a feeling. It is a part of your human experience, but it is not the entirety of who you are. As you breathe, let the air fill the empty spaces inside you where that loneliness has lived. Breathe into the feeling of being on the outside, looking in. And as you exhale, don't try to force it out. Just soften around it. Create a little more space. Allow it to be there without it having to define your entire being. This is the first step toward healing. Not fighting the feeling, but befriending it. Understanding its message. The message is not that you have failed. The message is that your heart is alive and full of sacred longing. And a heart that can long like that is a heart that is capable of incredible love, boundless joy, and a life of profound meaning whenever its season to dance finally arrives. For now, it is enough to just be here. It is enough to witness. It is enough to breathe. Rest in this acknowledgement. Let the gentle light of your own awareness be a comfort, a balm for this quiet, lonely ache. You are seen, you are understood, and you are not alone. Let's go a little deeper now, into the heart of this quiet sorrow. We are going to gently explore the specific nature of this grief, the mourning for a life that was imagined but never came to be. This is a unique and often misunderstood form of sadness because we are grieving something invisible. We are mourning the absence of experiences, the ghosts of moments we longed for, the echoes of a future that played out so vividly in our minds but never materialized in the world. This is not the sharp, clear grief of losing something you once had. It is the hollow, aching grief of never having had it at all. It is the sorrow for the empty chair at the table, for the road not taken, for the love story whose first chapter was never written. In the stillness of the night, allow yourself to acknowledge the reality of this loss. It is real. Your feelings about it are valid. Society doesn't have rituals for this kind of mourning. There are no sympathy cards for the career path that dissolved. No comforting gatherings for the children you never had. No shared condolences for the deep, abiding partnership that never found you. This grief is often a silent, solitary journey, which can make you feel as though your pain is not legitimate. But here, tonight, we recognize it. We honor it. We create a sacred space for it to simply be. What specifically are you mourning? Let the images or feelings arise gently, without judgment. Is it the easy laughter of a shared home? The feeling of a small hand tucked into yours? The pride of seeing a creative project come to life in the world? The quiet comfort of waking up next to someone who knows you completely? You don't need to name them all. Just let the essence of the longing surface. It might feel like a tightness in your chest, a hollowness in your stomach, or a lump in your throat. This is the physical language of your grief. Your body has been carrying the weight of these unlived dreams. Tonight, we give it permission to speak, and we listen with boundless compassion. The feeling is like that of a song you can hear, but were never taught how to dance to. This is a powerful analogy for this experience. The melody is so clear in your mind. You can hear the soaring violins of connection, the steady drumbeat of purpose, the joyful rhythm of belonging. The music is not foreign to you. It resonates in your very bones. It feels like your song. And yet, when you try to move your feet, they feel heavy, clumsy, out of sync. You see others swirling around you, seemingly born with the knowledge of the steps, while you remain frozen, a wallflower in the grand ballroom of life. The frustration and sadness come not from disliking the music, but from loving it so deeply and feeling utterly incapable of joining the dance. This feeling of being unschooled in the dance of life can lead to a profound sense of personal defectiveness. You might have started to believe that there is something fundamentally wrong with you. Everyone else seems to know how to do this, the inner critic whispers. Why can't I? What did I miss? What essential lesson did I fail to learn? This self-blame is a heavy cloak that you have likely worn for a very long time, adding its weight to the original grief. But let's consider a different perspective. What if you weren't meant to learn the same dance as everyone else? What if your soul has been waiting for a different song, a different rhythm, one that is uniquely your own? Perhaps the reason the popular dances felt awkward and wrong is because they were never your music to begin with. The years you spent standing on the sidelines were not years of failure. They were years of listening. You were listening intently, with your whole being, for the first few notes of a melody that only you could hear. This grief for the unlived life is also a grief for a version of yourself that you never got to meet. The you that was a parent, the you that was a celebrated artist, the you that was a world traveler, the you that was a partner. You can almost feel her, or him, can't you? A phantom self, standing just behind your shoulder. You mourn for their experiences, their joys, their sense of fulfillment. And in doing so, you can sometimes feel like a shadow of the person you were supposed to be. This is a heavy burden to carry. The sense that your real life is happening elsewhere, to someone else who looks just like you, while you are stuck here in a lesser, faded copy. Tonight, let's offer a hand of friendship to that phantom self. Let's turn and look at them with kindness. They are not a symbol of your failure. They are a beautiful embodiment of your deepest hopes and desires. They are a map of your heart's territory. Thank them for showing you what you value, for keeping the flame of your dreams alive, even in the darkest of nights. And then, very gently, let them merge back into you. Those qualities you admired in them, their courage, their joy, their love, are not external to you. They are your qualities. They are seeds within you, waiting for the right conditions to grow. The potential has not been lost. It has simply been dormant. Acknowledging this mourning is not about wallowing in regret. It is the opposite. It is an act of profound self-love and liberation. When we fail to mourn our losses, the grief gets stuck in our bodies and in our lives. It becomes a dense, invisible anchor, holding us tethered to a past that never was, preventing us from sailing into the future. By turning toward the grief, by allowing ourselves to feel the sadness for what was not, we begin to loosen the anchor's chain. We are performing a sacred act of emotional completion. We are saying, yes, this was my dream. I loved it. I longed for it. And it is okay to be sad that it did not happen in the way I imagined. In that simple, honest acknowledgement, there is immense relief. The energy that was trapped in unspoken grief can finally begin to flow again. It's like a frozen river in winter beginning to thaw. At first, there are cracks, and the movement is slow and painful. But eventually, the water begins to move, finding its way once more toward the open sea. As you lie here, breathing gently, allow yourself to touch the edges of this sorrow. You don't have to dive into the center of it. Just be willing to be near it. Imagine you are sitting on the bank of that frozen river. You are just watching it. You are noticing the patterns in the ice, the places where the sun hits it, the deep stillness of it. You are not trying to break the ice. You are just being present with it, knowing that the warmth of your own compassionate attention is enough to begin the thaw. The song you couldn't dance to. Let yourself hear it one more time. Feel the longing it evokes. Feel the sadness of standing still. And then imagine the music fading, slowly, gently. The ballroom empties, the lights dim, and in the vast quiet space that remains, you are left alone, not with a sense of failure, but with a sense of peace. The pressure is off, the performance is over, and now, in the silence, you can begin to hear something new. A faint, quiet melody from within. Your own song. It may not be a grand symphony or a lively dance number. It may be a simple, quiet folk song with a melody that is both ancient and new. This is the music of your own, unique, unrepeatable life. It has been playing all along, underneath the noise of what you thought you should be. Tonight, we just begin to listen. We just begin to notice it is there. And that is more than enough. Rest now in this quiet space of acknowledgement. You have done a brave and beautiful thing by honoring your own secret sorrow. You have made room for a new kind of peace to enter. Now that we have sat with the grief, let's turn to the story of why. Let's explore the deep and valid reasons for the pause in your life, the period of stillness or seeming inaction that has caused you so much pain. The mind, in its haste to find a simple answer, often leaps to self-blame. It tells you that you were lazy or afraid or not good enough. It creates a narrative of personal failing. But this narrative is almost always a fiction. It is a harsh, simplistic story that ignores the profound complexities of a human journey. Tonight, we will honor the true story. We will look with compassion at the very real reasons you found yourself on the sidelines. And we will normalize this experience not as an error, but as a necessary and often unavoidable part of being alive. Your path is valid, every moment of it. Think back to the time when you feel your life began to diverge from the map you were holding. What was happening then? Let the memories surface gently, without the usual filter of judgment. Perhaps you were healing. Healing is not a part-time job. It is a full-body, full-spirit occupation. Healing from childhood wounds, from a sudden loss, from a betrayal, or from the slow erosion of your spirit in a toxic environment requires an immense amount of energy. It is deep, internal work that is largely invisible to the outside world. To an observer, it might have looked like you were doing nothing. But on the inside, you were fighting a battle, rebuilding a world, painstakingly stitching your own soul back together. This is not empty time. This is sacred, essential work. It is the work of a warrior. To survive trauma and then choose to heal from it is one of the most courageous acts a human being can undertake. The energy that others were using to build careers, families, and social lives, you were using to simply stay alive, to find your footing again, to learn how to feel safe in your own skin. You did not fail. You survived. And in that survival, you cultivated a depth of strength and a capacity for compassion that cannot be learned in any other way. You did what you had to do to get here, and for that, you deserve not judgment, but reverence. Or perhaps your pause was not about a specific wound, but about a period of profound confusion or waiting. Maybe the path ahead was shrouded in a thick fog, and you simply could not see the next step. To the world, which values constant motion and decisive action, this state of unknowing can look like indecision or weakness. But there is a deep wisdom in knowing when to stand still. There is a profound intelligence in refusing to move forward just for the sake of movement, especially when your inner compass is spinning. To wait in the fog, to be patient with the uncertainty, is an act of faith. It is a testament to your connection with a deeper part of yourself, a part that knew it was better to be still and listen than to rush headlong into a life that wasn't truly yours. These periods of waiting are not passive. They are deeply active on an internal level. You are listening, sensing, gathering information from a place deeper than the conscious mind. You are allowing your soul to recalibrate. This is the fallow season of the spirit. A farmer knows that a field cannot produce a harvest year after year without a period of rest. The fallow field, to an uninformed eye, looks barren and useless. But the farmer knows that in this stillness, the soil is replenishing its nutrients, gathering strength, preparing for the next cycle of growth. Your period of waiting was your fallow season. You were not empty. You were replenishing. You were gathering the wisdom, clarity, and strength you would need for whatever was to come next. For many, the pause comes from a place of service to others. Perhaps you were caring for an aging parent, supporting a partner through a crisis, or raising children and putting your own dreams on hold. Our society often celebrates the achievements that come with a title or a salary, but it rarely acknowledges the heroic, demanding, and utterly essential work of caregiving. This work is a pouring out of life force, a daily act of love and sacrifice that leaves little room for anything else. If this was your story, you did not give up on your life. You gave your life for a time to the well-being of another. This is an act of profound love. The skills you learned, patience, empathy, resilience in the face of exhaustion, the ability to find joy in small moments, are the building blocks of a truly meaningful existence. Your path did not stop. It flowed into another's, nourishing and sustaining them. And now, as that season may be ending, your river begins to gather its waters back into its own channel, deeper and richer for the journey it has taken. Let's hold this affirmation in our hearts for a moment. You did what you had to do to get here. Read that again, internally. Feel the truth of it settle in your bones. It's a statement of radical self-acceptance. It releases you from the impossible burden of having to have done it differently. You couldn't have. With the knowledge you had, the resources you had, and the emotional state you were in at the time, you made the choices you could. And those choices brought you here, to this bed, to this moment of reflection and potential healing. The path could not have been otherwise. Releasing the story of "I should have" is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. That story is a ghost that haunts you, whispering of a phantom life where you were stronger, wiser, braver. But you were as strong, wise, and brave as you could be in each moment. And that was, and is, enough, entirely enough. The pause was not a detour from your life. It was your life. The healing was your life. The waiting was your life. The caring was your life. These were not obstacles on the path. They were the path itself. And it is a path of incredible depth and substance. You have not been living a shallow life of distraction. You have been navigating the deep, often treacherous, and ultimately rewarding terrain of the human soul. The world may not give you a medal for this journey, but here, in this quiet space, we recognize its immense value. We honor the scars you carry, both visible and invisible, as marks of your endurance. We honor the quiet wisdom in your eyes, gained from nights spent wrestling with uncertainty. We honor the gentleness in your heart, born from a deep understanding of pain, both your own and that of others. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are a seasoned traveler who has taken a difficult, scenic, and profoundly meaningful route. And now, you find yourself at a new vantage point, with a perspective that those who have only known the straight, easy highway can never possess. So let the judgment soften. Let the self-recrimination dissolve. In its place, allow a sense of quiet respect to arise. Respect for the person who has navigated so much. Respect for the journey that has forged you. As you breathe in the sense of validation. As you breathe out, release the old, tired story of failure. Your life has not been on hold. It has been deepening. It has been gathering. And it is entirely, completely, and beautifully valid. Rest in that knowing now. Let it be a soft place for you to land as you drift towards sleep. Let's now turn our gaze outward for just a moment, not to compare, but to understand. We are going to gently deconstruct one of the most powerful and painful illusions that fuels the feeling of being left behind. The myth of the single timeline. This is the deeply ingrained cultural belief that there is a correct, linear, and universal schedule for a successful human life. We are taught this myth from a young age. It's in the stories we read, the movies we watch, and the well-meaning questions from relatives at family gatherings. The timeline usually looks something like this: graduate, find a career, get married, buy a house, have children, all before a certain age. It's presented as a neat, orderly checklist, a ladder of success that everyone is supposed to be climbing at the same pace. When our own life doesn't match this rigid blueprint, we internalize it as a personal failure. We see ourselves as being off track or behind schedule, as if life were a train that left the station without us. But tonight, we will expose this timeline for what it is: a myth. It is a collective fiction, a story we have told ourselves for so long that we have mistaken it for reality. The truth is, there is no single timeline. There are billions of them, each one as unique as a fingerprint. Your life is not a race against anyone else's. It is a solitary, sacred journey of unfolding. To believe in the single timeline is to live in a state of constant, low-grade anxiety, always looking over your shoulder to see where everyone else is. This habit of comparison is the thief of joy, as the saying goes. But it is also the thief of peace. It wrenches you out of the present moment of your own life and traps you in an imaginary competition you can never win. Because the other people you are comparing yourself to are not who you think they are. You are comparing your behind-the-scenes footage, with all its messy takes, forgotten lines, and technical difficulties, to everyone else's highlight reel. You see their curated moments of triumph, their polished announcements, their smiling photographs. You do not see the long, lonely nights of doubt that preceded the promotion. You do not see the silent struggles and painful compromises inside the seemingly perfect marriage. You do not see the paralyzing fear and uncertainty that came before the courageous leap into a new life. Every single person's story has hidden chapters. Chapters of confusion, of grief, of failure, of feeling utterly lost. No life is a straight, unbroken line of ascent. Every life is a series of peaks, valleys, and long, quiet plateaus. When you believe you are the only one in a valley, the loneliness can feel absolute. But the truth is, the valleys are where the real growth happens. They are where we learn resilience, compassion, and what truly matters. The people you admire from afar have spent their own time in the valley. They just don't post pictures from there. Releasing the heavy pressure of comparison is an act of profound liberation. It is like taking off a heavy, ill-fitting coat that you have been forced to wear for years. Underneath, you can finally breathe. You can stand up straight. You can begin to feel the unique shape of your own being, free from the distortion of trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. Imagine you are standing in a vast ancient forest. Around you are trees of all kinds. There are slender, graceful birches that grow quickly, reaching for the sun in just a few years. There are mighty, gnarled oaks that take a century to reach their full majesty, their growth slow, patient, and deep. Does the oak look at the birch and feel ashamed of its slowness? Does the birch look at the oak and feel inadequate in its fragility? Of course not. Each tree is simply engaged in the process of becoming itself, according to its own internal clock, its own unique nature. There is no behind in a forest. There is only a diverse, magnificent ecosystem of beings, each unfolding in its own perfect time. You are not a machine on an assembly line, expected to produce certain outcomes by a specific deadline. You are a natural organism, as wild and unique as an oak tree. Your timeline for growth, for blooming, for bearing fruit is your own. To force an oak to grow at the speed of a birch would be to destroy it. To honor your own natural rhythm, even when it is slower or different from those around you, is to honor the very essence of your life. This pressure to keep up is a modern invention. For most of human history, life was cyclical, not linear. It was tied to the seasons of the earth. There was a time for planting, a time for growing, a time for harvesting, and a crucial sacred time for lying fallow. Our modern world has forgotten the wisdom of the fallow time. It celebrates endless productivity, perpetual growth, a year-round summer. But this is not sustainable for the earth, and it is not sustainable for the human soul. The periods in your life that you have labeled as stagnation or being stuck were your fallow seasons. They were your winter. And winter is not an ending. It is a necessary, holy pause that makes the spring possible. Let's gently release the words behind and late from your vocabulary, just for tonight. They are loaded with judgment. They are weapons you have used against yourself. Let's replace them with softer, more truthful words, like unfolding, gestating, deepening, or becoming. I am not behind. My story is simply unfolding at its own pace. Feel the difference in your body as you say that to yourself. There is a release, a softening, a sense of peace. The panic subsides. The frantic need to catch up dissolves. You are left with the simple, profound reality of your own journey, as it is, right now. It is enough. You are enough. Another facet of this myth is the idea that opportunities are finite, like seats on a train that has already left. If you missed it, it's gone forever. But this is a scarcity mindset that doesn't reflect the true nature of life. Life is not a single train. It is a vast, interconnected network of pathways. It is a web of infinite possibility. An opportunity that passed you by was simply not your opportunity. Your opportunities, the ones that are truly aligned with your unique path and purpose, cannot be missed. They will arrive when you are ready for them. The person you needed to be to seize them might not have existed 10 years ago. The very experiences you lamented as a waste of time were, in fact, the necessary curriculum to prepare you for the life that is waiting for you now. So as you drift toward sleep, Let the illusion of the single timeline dissolve. See it for what it is, a ghost story, a fiction that has held you captive. Let go of the race. Lay down the heavy burden of comparison. You are not on anyone else's path. You are on yours. It is a sacred, winding, and beautiful path, forged by your own unique experiences of joy and sorrow, of movement and stillness. Trust your own timing. Honor your own rhythm. The forest does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. You do not need to hurry. You simply need to be present to your own becoming. Rest in the deep, calming knowledge that you are exactly where you are supposed to be in this moment on your one-of-a-kind, unrepeatable journey. Tonight, we are going to do something very specific, very gentle, yet profoundly powerful. We are going to give ourselves full and unconditional permission to release the anchor of too late. This is more than just a thought. It is a belief system that has lodged itself deep within you. It is a heavy, rusted anchor dropped from the ship of your life into the muddy seabed of the past. It keeps you tethered, preventing you from drifting into the open waters of the present and the vast ocean of future possibilities. It doesn't matter who first gave you this anchor or how long it has been there. All that matters is that tonight you can choose to release it. This release is not a violent act. We are not going to frantically try to rip the anchor out. That would only stir up the mud and exhaust us. Instead, we are going to simply and quietly decide to let go of the chain. We will use the most natural and powerful tool we have, our breath. The breath is the bridge between the mind and the body, between a thought and a feeling. It is the current that can gently carry away what is old and no longer serves us. So, as you rest here, bring your awareness to your breathing. Don't change it. Just notice it. The gentle rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. The cool air entering your nostrils. The warm air leaving. Each breath is a small cycle of receiving and releasing. It is a rhythm your body has known since the moment of your birth. It is a rhythm of trust. Now let's bring the thought, "it's too late," into our awareness. Don't fight it. Don't argue with it. Just let it be there, like a cloud in the sky of your mind. Notice how it feels in your body. Does it create a tightness in your chest? A sinking feeling in your stomach? A tension in your shoulders? This is the physical weight of the anchor. It is real. For so long, you've been carrying this weight, perhaps without even realizing how heavy it had become. Your body has been holding the story of too late, bracing against its imagined finality. With your next inhale, I want you to imagine you are breathing in a soft golden light of pure acceptance. Breathe it directly into the places in your body where you feel the weight of this belief. This light doesn't judge the belief. It doesn't try to change it. It simply surrounds it with warmth, with compassion, with understanding. It says, "I see you. I see how you have tried to protect me by telling me this story. I understand." And now, with your next exhale, a long, slow, gentle exhale, imagine you are releasing the belief on the stream of your breath. See the words, "too late," dissolving into smoke, into mist, carried away from you into the vastness of the room. With each exhale, you are letting go of the chain, link by link. You don't have to force it. Just allow it. Let the out-breath be a sigh of release. Inhale the golden light of acceptance. Exhale the heavy dust of too late. Let's stay with this for a few cycles of breath. There is no rush. This is a gentle, patient process, breathing in warmth and compassion for the part of you that has held this fear for so long, and breathing out, letting go, releasing the story, link by link. The analogy of the ship and the anchor is a powerful one. Imagine your life as a beautiful, sturdy vessel. It has weathered many storms. It may have some dents and scratches, but it is seaworthy. It is strong. For a long time, it has been moored in a quiet, murky harbor, held fast by this old anchor. The anchor is the belief that your time has passed, that all the other ships have sailed to exciting, distant lands, and you have been left behind. From the deck of your anchored ship, you could see them go. You felt the wind that they caught in their sails, but it only rustled the still canvas of your own. You felt the pull of the tide, the call of the open sea, but you could not move. This feeling of being stuck while the world moves on has been your reality for a long time. But what if the anchor was never as permanent as you believed? What if the chain holding you was not forged of unbreakable steel, but of old, brittle thought patterns? What if your belief in the anchor was the only thing giving it power? Tonight, with each compassionate breath, you are allowing those old, rusted links of belief to simply crumble and fall away. As you continue to breathe, feel a subtle shift, a sense of lightness, a new kind of buoyancy. Imagine the moment the final link of the chain releases. There is no loud crash or sudden jolt. It is a quiet, almost imperceptible release, and then a gentle drift. The ship, your beautiful life, is no longer held in place. It begins to move, not with force or direction at first, but simply carried by the natural, gentle currents of the present moment. There is a profound freedom in this drifting. For the first time in a long time, there is no plan. There is no destination you are supposed to be heading towards. You are simply free. Free from the past that held you, and free from the pressure of a predetermined future. You are just here now, floating in the calm, quiet waters of the night. This freedom might feel a little disorienting at first. Being anchored, for all its frustration, provides a sense of certainty. You always knew where you were. This new state of drifting is a state of pure possibility, and that can feel vast and unknown. That's okay. You don't need to know where you're going yet. The only task for tonight is to enjoy the feeling of being untethered. Feel the gentle rocking of the water beneath you. See the stars above, reflected on the calm surface. Feel the soft night air on your face. This is the peace that comes from letting go. It is not an empty peace. It is a peace that is pregnant with potential. Any direction is now possible. Any harbor can be your next home. The belief, it's too late, is a closing down of energy. It's a full stop at the end of a sentence. It shuts the door on possibility. Releasing it is an act of opening. It is replacing the full stop with an ellipsis. 3 little dots that signify to be continued. Your story is to be continued. Your journey is to be continued. As you lie here, feel that sense of continuation in your very cells. Life is not a static state. It is a constant flow, a perpetual process of becoming. The universe is always expanding, and so are you. The belief that your life could somehow be over while you are still breathing is a contradiction to the very nature of existence. You are a living, breathing part of a universe that is always in motion, always creating, always becoming something new. So let the breath be your gentle guide back to this truth. Each inhale is a new beginning, a fresh supply of oxygen, of life force. Each exhale is a release of the old, the spent, the unnecessary. Breathing in possibility, breathing out the past, breathing in freedom, breathing out limitation, breathing in the truth of I am here now, and breathing out the lie of it is too late. The anchor is gone. The ship is adrift on a calm, starry sea. There is nothing left for the captain to do tonight. The journey will reveal itself in the morning light. For now, the only task is to rest, to trust the currents, to feel the immense peace of being finally, beautifully, and completely free. Surrender to this feeling of lightness as you drift deeper and deeper into sleep. Having released the heavy anchor, let us now turn to the map we were using. Every one of us carries an invisible map, a chart drawn for us in childhood by our family, our culture, our own young dreams. This map showed a specific route with clearly marked destinations and estimated times of arrival. It had highways for career, towns for marriage, and landmarks for personal achievements. For a long time, you navigated by this map. You held it tightly, believing it was the only true and correct chart for the territory of your life. When your own journey began to deviate from its neat, printed lines, you likely felt a rising panic. You thought you were lost, that you had taken a wrong turn and strayed into dangerous, uncharted territory. You may have spent years trying to force your way back to the designated route, scrambling through thick undergrowth, trying to find a road that was no longer there, all the while blaming yourself for getting lost in the first place. Tonight, we will do something radical. We will gently take out this old, creased, and weathered map. We will look at it not with anger or regret, but with a kind of nostalgic tenderness. We will acknowledge the life it represented, the hopes it contained, and the guidance it tried to offer. We will thank it for its service, and then we will lovingly, peacefully let it dissolve. Imagine holding this old map in your hands. Feel the paper, softened by years of use. Trace the lines with your finger, the path you thought you were supposed to take. See the destinations you were so sure you were heading towards. Acknowledge the dream. It was a beautiful dream, born of innocence and hope. There is no shame in having held it. It was your guiding star for a time. But a map of a territory is not the territory itself. A map is a static representation of a living, breathing, ever-changing landscape. Your life is not a static drawing. It is the living landscape. And the landscape changed. Rivers shifted their course. Mountains rose where plains used to be. New forests grew, offering unexpected shade and beauty. The old map is no longer accurate because you are no longer the same person who first held it, and the world is no longer the same world. To continue navigating by this outdated chart is to condemn yourself to a life of perpetual frustration, always trying to force the vibrant, unpredictable wilderness of your real life to conform to the rigid, faded lines on a piece of paper. As you hold this map in your mind's eye, imagine a gentle rain beginning to fall, a soft, warm, healing rain. The drops fall onto the map, and the ink begins to run. The sharp, certain lines of the highways begin to soften, to blur, to bleed into one another. The names of the destinations fade until they are just soft smudges of color. The rigid grid of the timeline dissolves into a gentle wash of pastels. You are not destroying the map in anger. You are simply allowing it to return to its elemental state, allowing the paper to soften and the ink to flow. There is a quiet relief in this process. It is the relief of no longer having to pretend, the relief of no longer forcing, the relief of no longer judging your actual, beautiful, complicated location against an imaginary, impossible destination. For so long, you have been measuring yourself against this map, and every measurement has found you wanting. You are always too far east, too far south, too slow, too late. The map became your accuser. By letting it dissolve, you are silencing the accuser. You are stepping out of the courtroom of self-judgment and into the quiet sanctuary of self-acceptance. It is safe to not know what comes next. In fact, it is more than safe. It is the very space where possibility is born. As long as you were clutching the old map, you could only see one possible route. Your vision was narrowed to that single predetermined path. Any deviation felt like a catastrophic failure. But now, with the map gone, your eyes can finally open to the vast 360-degree reality of where you are. You can see the small, winding footpath to your left that you never noticed before. You can see the glimmer of a lake through the trees to your right. You can feel the direction of the wind on your skin, hear the call of a bird overhead. You are no longer navigating by an abstract idea. You are beginning to navigate by your senses, by your intuition, by the direct experience of being alive in this moment, in this place. This is a much more intimate and truthful way to journey. This affirmation is for you to hold tonight. It is safe to not know. Let that sink in. Our culture fears the unknown. It equates not knowing with being lost. But what if not knowing is simply being open? What if it is the prerequisite for discovery? You cannot discover a new land if you are still convinced you know the entire map of the world. By admitting, "I don't know where I'm going," you create a space for life to surprise you. You open the door for synchronicity, for unexpected opportunities, for paths to appear that you could never have conceived of with your old, limited map. Think of the great explorers. They did not set out with a perfect map of their destination. They set out with a question, a longing, a direction of curiosity. They sailed into the vast blank spaces on the chart, the places marked, "Here be dragons." And what they found was not dragons, but new worlds, new wonders, new versions of themselves. You are now standing at the edge of your own blank space. It is not an empty void. It is a space of pure potential. It is the fertile ground where a new, more authentic life can begin to grow. A life that is not dictated by an old plan, but one that emerges organically from the truth of who you are now. The person you have become through all your trials, through all your healing, through all your waiting. This person is your new compass. Your own inner wisdom is your new guide. As the old map fully dissolves, feel the release in your body, a letting go in your shoulders, a softening in your stomach, a quietness in your mind. The frantic navigator in your head, the one who is always checking the map, calculating distances, worrying about being late, can finally take a rest. They can go off duty. You can let your heart lead for a while. You can let your feet wander. You can simply be present to the journey as it unfolds, one step at a time. The relief is immense. It is the end of a long, exhausting war against yourself and your own life path. You are finally declaring a truce. You are making peace with the territory you are in. It may not be the land you expected, but it is your land. And it has its own unique, rugged beauty. It has its own hidden springs of fresh water, its own resilient wildflowers that grow in the rocky soil. By letting the old map go, you can finally begin to see the beauty of where you actually are. As you drift deeper into sleep, hold this image of the dissolving map. Let it be a symbol of your release from old expectations and self-criticism. You are entering a new phase of your journey, the phase of discovery. You don't need to know the destination. You only need to be willing to take the next gentle, curious step. And the first step is this one, right now. The step into deep, peaceful, restorative rest. You are safe. You are free. You are on your way. Having let the old map dissolve, let's now gently reframe our understanding of the journey itself, specifically our relationship with time. For so long, we have seen time as a straight, finite road. It stretches from a fixed starting point, birth, to an inevitable end. Along this road, there are mile markers, representing the ages by which we are supposed to achieve certain things. This model of time creates a constant sense of pressure, of racing against a clock that is always ticking down. It is a source of immense anxiety, because on a straight road, any pause, any detour, feels like a loss. If you are not moving forward, you are falling behind, and the distance to the end seems to grow shorter with every passing moment. But what if this model is fundamentally wrong? What if time is not a road at all? Tonight, let's explore a new metaphor, a new way of seeing. Let's imagine that time is not a road, but a deep, winding river. Your life is not a race along a paved highway. It is a journey carried by the currents of this great river. A river is not straight. It meanders. It curves and bends in response to the landscape it moves through. It has periods of swift, rushing rapids where life feels fast, exciting, and perhaps a little dangerous. And it has periods of wide, slow, deep pools where the water becomes still and calm, almost seeming to stop altogether. From the perspective of the road, these quiet pools would be seen as a failure of progress, a waste of time, a sign of being stuck. But from the perspective of the river, these pools are essential. They are where the water clarifies as sediment settles to the bottom. They are where life congregates, where ecosystems flourish. They are a time of gathering depth and strength before the river continues its journey. The periods in your life that you have labeled as stuck or wasted were your quiet pools. They were not a deviation from your journey. They were an integral part of it. It was in that stillness that your own inner sediment settled and you gained clarity. It was in that quiet that you gathered the depth and resilience you now possess. The river of your life did not stop flowing. It was simply moving in a different way, a way that was not about forward momentum, but about deepening. Honoring this rhythm is a profound act of self-acceptance. It means understanding that your worth is not measured by your speed. A river is no less a river in its quiet pools than it is in its rushing rapids. It is all part of the same sacred flow. This river perspective also changes our relationship with the past and future. On a road, the past is behind you, something you have left and can never return to. The future is ahead, a destination you are constantly striving towards. But a river connects everything. The water that flows past you now was once upstream in your past and will soon be downstream in your future. It is all one continuous body. Your past is not something you have left behind. Its lessons, its sorrows, and its joys have been absorbed into the very substance of your being. Just as the river absorbs minerals from the earth it passes over. Your past has shaped the depth and character of your flow today, and your future is not a distant, separate destination. It is the natural, downstream continuation of the river you are right now. You don't have to frantically paddle toward it. The current is already carrying you. Your only task is to be present in the part of the river you are in right now, to navigate its currents with awareness and trust. This releases the immense pressure to get somewhere. You are already somewhere. You are in the river of your life, and that is exactly where you need to be. There is another beautiful truth in this metaphor. Some of the most beautiful flowers bloom long after the spring. Think of the late blooming rose, the autumn crocus, the winter jasmine. Their beauty is not diminished because they did not appear in the first flush of April. In fact, their appearance in a later season is often more poignant, more precious. They are a testament to a different kind of life cycle, a different rhythm of becoming. Their beauty is a quiet rebellion against the tyranny of the single timeline. Your life may be one of those late blooming flowers. The spring of your youth may have been a time for growing deep roots, for gathering nutrients from difficult soil. It may not have been your time for extravagant blossoms, and that is not a tragedy. It is simply a different, equally valid, and often more profound way of being. When your bloom finally comes, and it will, in its own time, it will be all the richer for the long, quiet seasons that preceded it. It will be a bloom born not of youthful exuberance, but of deep, seasoned wisdom. It will have a color and a fragrance that could only come from a life lived with depth and patience. So release the idea that you have missed the spring. Perhaps you were never meant to be a daffodil. Perhaps you are a magnificent dahlia, destined to set the autumn garden ablaze with your color. There is no hierarchy of beauty in nature. Each bloom is a miracle in its own time. The river of time is also not a solitary entity. Your river flows alongside countless others, and sometimes they merge or run parallel for a while before diverging again. When you look at another person's life, you might only see a moment where their river is flowing fast and smooth. You don't see the slow, stagnant oxbow lake they were trapped in for years, or the rocky, turbulent canyon they had to navigate to get to this point. Every river has its own unique journey, its own secret history written in the landscape it has carved. To compare the speed of your river to another's is to misunderstand the nature of rivers altogether. Your journey is to tend to your own riverbank, to notice the unique flora and fauna that your particular journey supports, to listen to the sound your own water makes as it flows over the stones of your life. This shift in perspective from a straight, finite road to a deep, winding river is a shift from anxiety to trust. It is a move from a scarcity mindset, I'm running out of time, to an abundance mindset. I am held by the flow of time. It allows you to relax, to let go of the oars of frantic effort, and to learn to work with the currents of your life instead of constantly fighting against them. As you drift into sleep, imagine yourself floating on this gentle, winding river. You are safe. You are held. The water is cool and supportive. The moon is reflected on its dark, smooth surface. You can hear the gentle sounds of the riverbank, the rustling of leaves, the quiet symphony of the night. You don't know exactly what is around the next bend, and for the first time, that feels okay. It feels like an adventure, not a threat. The river knows the way to the sea. All you have to do is surrender to its wise, ancient, and loving current. It is carrying you home. Let's stay with this gentle reframing, looking now at the content of that quiet time. We have called it a pause, a fallow season, a quiet pool in the river. But what was actually happening during those years of waiting or surviving? Our culture, obsessed with visible progress, has no language for the value of these periods. It dismisses them as empty, a gap in the resume of a life. But this is a profound misunderstanding. We are going to reframe this time, not as a loss, but as a period of deep, unseen growth. Specifically, it was a time of powerful root development. Think once more of a great tree. Its visible glory is in its branches, its leaves, its blossoms, its fruit. This is what we see and admire. This is what we equate with success and aliveness. But the entire visible life of that tree is supported by something equally vast and complex that is completely hidden from view: its root system. The roots are the tree's anchor, its source of nourishment, its foundation of strength. A tree cannot grow tall and strong. It cannot withstand the storms and the droughts without a deep and extensive network of roots. And where does this root growth happen? In the dark, in the quiet, in the stillness of the earth. The time in your life that you thought was lost was the time you were growing your roots. While it may have looked like nothing was happening on the surface, beneath the ground, in the hidden soil of your being, a profound work was underway. You were extending your reach into deeper places. You were learning to draw nourishment from difficult, rocky ground. You were establishing an anchor of resilience that will hold you steady for the rest of your life. This is not just a pretty metaphor. It is a psychological truth. The profound wisdom and strength that define a mature, grounded human being can only be forged in quiet or difficult times. Qualities like patience, for example, are not learned when things are going quickly and easily. Patience is a root that grows only when you are forced to wait. You learn its contours, its strength, its deep, quiet power by living through seasons of uncertainty, by sitting in the unknowing without panicking. You now possess a capacity for patience that someone who has only known instant gratification cannot comprehend. It is a superpower you earned in the dark. Consider the quality of empathy. True, deep empathy is not a theoretical concept. It is born from the felt experience of your own pain. Your periods of loneliness, of grief, of feeling like an outsider were a masterclass in the human condition. You learned the language of sorrow firsthand. Because of this, you can now sit with another person in their pain without flinching, without needing to fix them, because their darkness is not foreign to you. You have navigated your own. This compassionate understanding is another powerful root you grew. It connects you to the heart of humanity. It is a gift you can now offer the world, a gift that was forged in the very fires you thought were destroying you. And what about resilience? Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to withstand the fierce winds of life. It's not something you are born with. It is a muscle that is strengthened through use. Every single time you felt like giving up, but took one more breath, one more step, you were building your resilience. Every time you faced a disappointment and found a way to get out of bed the next morning, you were strengthening this vital root. The years you saw as a struggle were, in fact, your training ground. You are so much stronger than you think you are, not in spite of your difficult past, but because of it. Your root system of resilience is deep and wide. Let's hold this affirmation. The time I thought was lost was actually spent becoming the person I am now. Feel the shift in that. It transforms regret into a form of gratitude. It reframes your history from a liability into your greatest asset. The person you are today, with your unique blend of wisdom, compassion, patience, and strength, could not exist without that exact history. To wish away your past, to regret the quiet years, is to wish away the very foundation of your current self. You are who you are because of, not in spite of, those times. Let's think about this from another angle. In our rush for blossoms and fruit, the external achievements, we often neglect the unseen work that makes them possible. A gardener knows that you don't get healthy plants by focusing only on the flowers. You get healthy plants by tending to the soil. You enrich the soil. You water the roots. You ensure the foundation is strong. Your years of nothing were your years of soil enrichment. You were turning over old beliefs, composting painful experiences into wisdom, aerating the compacted ground of your heart to allow for new growth. This is slow, quiet, unglamorous work. No one gives you an award for tending to your own inner soil. But it is the most essential work you will ever do. And you have been doing it diligently for a very long time. Now, perhaps, you are beginning to feel the first stirrings of a new season. Perhaps you feel a tentative new shoot pushing its way toward the surface. This new growth is not fragile or naive. It is deeply nourished. It is supported by a root system that can sustain it through any weather. When your tree finally begins to branch out into the visible world, it will do so with a quiet, unshakable strength. Your success will not be a fleeting, shallow thing. It will be grounded, authentic, and enduring, because it has been years in the making. It has been earned in the sacred darkness of your own becoming. When you look at others who seem to bloom early and easily, consider that their root systems may be shallow. They may look glorious in the calm, sunny weather, but they may be the first to topple in a storm. Your journey has prepared you for the storms. You are not a hothouse flower. You are a resilient, wild, perennial being who knows how to survive the winter. You carry the wisdom of all the seasons within you. So as you rest tonight, let go of any remaining shame or regret about the pace of your life. See those quiet years for what they truly were, a sacred, hidden apprenticeship. You were learning the deep, earthy lessons of the soul. You were growing in ways that cannot be measured or seen, but that form the very core of your being. Imagine your awareness traveling down from your mind, down through your body, and deep into the earth beneath you. Feel your own energetic roots extending downwards, connecting with the quiet, dark, nourishing power of the earth. Feel the stability. Feel the strength. Feel the deep, unshakable knowing that you are grounded, you are supported, and you are whole. The time was not lost. It was invested in the most important project of all, the creation of you. Rest in that knowledge. It is a deep, quiet, and powerful peace. Having honored the unseen growth within you, let's now consciously turn our attention to the sheer strength you have carried. We are going to acknowledge, perhaps for the first time, the immense resilience it has taken for you to keep going while feeling left behind. This is not about celebrating struggle for its own sake. It is about offering a profound and overdue recognition to the warrior spirit within you that has endured so much. We often reserve the word strong for people who are visibly triumphant, for the ones who are climbing mountains and winning races. But there is a different kind of strength, a quieter and perhaps even more formidable kind that is required to simply stay present in a life that feels stalled or painful. It is the strength of the long-distance runner of the soul, who keeps putting one foot in front of the other, even when there is no finish line in sight. This strength is often invisible, even to ourselves. We mistake our endurance for passivity, our survival for failure. Tonight, we will correct this misperception. We will see your journey through the lens of profound respect. Think, for a moment, of all that you have navigated to arrive in this present moment, in this bed, listening to these words. Let the scenes of your life flicker gently in your mind. Remember the mornings when it took every ounce of your willpower to get out of bed and face a day that you feared would be a repeat of the last. Remember the holidays spent with a smile fixed on your face while your heart felt hollow. Remember the countless times you had to listen to the successes of others and offer genuine congratulations, pushing down your own wave of sadness and longing. Each of these moments was an act of quiet heroism. Each one required a reserve of strength you probably didn't even know you had. It is easy to be hopeful when life is full of promise and forward momentum. It is a monumental feat of the human spirit to hold on to even a glimmer of hope in the long, dark winter of waiting. And you did. The very fact that you are here, that you are open to this message of healing, is proof that some part of you never completely gave up. That is not weakness. That is the very definition of strength. It's the strength of a single blade of grass that pushes its way through a crack in the concrete. It is tenacious, persistent, and animated by an unbreakable life force. Your capacity to endure and still hold a glimmer of hope is a testament to your spirit. This is not a platitude. It is a deep and profound truth about you. Let's offer a compliment to that part of yourself. Let's speak directly to the one within you who has endured. You can say it silently in your own heart. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for getting me through the lonely nights and the difficult days. Thank you for your unbelievable strength and persistence. I see you now. I honor you. Feel the resonance of that acknowledgement in your body. It might feel like a warmth spreading through your chest or a sense of solidity in your core. You are connecting with your own resilient center, the part of you that is truly unbreakable. This is the part of you that has been your faithful companion through every hardship. It has been the silent witness to all your tears, the steady pilot in all your storms. It has never left you. It's important to remember that this strength is not a hard, brittle thing. It is not an armor that prevents you from feeling. On the contrary, your strength is soft and pliable, like the reed that bends in the wind, while the rigid oak tree might crack. Your strength is in your sensitivity. It is in your capacity to feel the full spectrum of human emotion, the grief, the loneliness, the hope, the despair, and to allow it to move through you without being destroyed by it. You have become a skilled container for the powerful energies of life. You have learned how to be with difficult feelings, a skill that many who have had an easier life have never had the need to develop. This makes you emotionally wise. Your heart is not broken. It has been broken open to a deeper level of compassion, a deeper understanding of what it means to be alive. We often imagine that our painful experiences have diminished us, that they have taken something away. But what if they have added something? What if they have added layers of depth to your character, like the rings of a tree that tell the story of its seasons of drought and seasons of abundance? Your so-called empty years were actually years of adding these rings of wisdom and resilience. You are not a blank page. You are a rich and complex story, and the most compelling chapters are the ones that speak of your survival, of your quiet, persistent strength. Let's release the idea that you have to be over your past to be strong. True strength doesn't mean you no longer have scars. It means you have learned how to live with them, how to honor them as part of your story. It means you are no longer ashamed of the places where you were wounded, because you understand that those are the very places where the light gets in, where your compassion for others is born. Your experiences have carved out a space within you, a depth of being. While this carving process may have been painful, it has left you with a greater capacity to hold joy when it arrives. Someone with a shallow heart can only experience a shallow joy. Your heart, deepened by your journey, is now capable of holding a profound, resonant, and abiding joy. You have prepared the vessel. As you lie here, resting, let yourself feel the truth of this strength in your physical body. Feel the steady, reliable beat of your heart. It has been beating for you, every second of every day, without fail, through every hardship. It is a symbol of your endurance. Feel the gentle, constant rhythm of your breath. It has nourished you, calmed you, and kept you alive. It is a symbol of your life force. Your body itself is a testament to your resilience. It has carried you here. It has held your stress, your grief, and your unspoken fears. Tonight, offer it your gratitude. Let every cell in your body hear the message: we made it. We are safe now. We can rest. This is not an arrogant strength. It is a quiet, humble, and deeply grounded strength. It doesn't need to announce itself. It is simply there, a solid foundation beneath you. Knowing this, trusting this, changes everything. It means you can face the future not with fear of what might go wrong, but with a quiet confidence in your own ability to handle whatever comes. You have already navigated so much. You have proven to yourself, time and time again, that you have what it takes to endure. This knowledge is a profound source of peace. The compliment, then, is this: you are a survivor, and not just a survivor, but a thriver in the deepest sense of the word. You have not just passed through the fire. You have learned to carry its light within you. You have transformed the lead of your suffering into the gold of your wisdom. This is the sacred alchemy of the human soul, and you are its living embodiment. Rest in this recognition. Let it be a balm to your spirit. You are so much stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. Let this deep, quiet strength hold you and cradle you as you drift into a well-deserved, peaceful sleep. Now, having acknowledged the immense strength that has brought you here, let's do something very gentle. We are going to turn our attention inward, past the stories of the mind, past the scars of the past, and look for something very small, very quiet, and very precious. We are going to look for the ember. In every human soul, no matter how long the winter or how deep the darkness, there remains a tiny, warm, glowing ember of hope and curiosity. It may be banked low, covered in the ash of disappointment and grief, so small that you have long believed it went out. But it never goes out. It is the pilot light of your spirit, the indestructible spark of your aliveness. It is the part of you that is still interested in what might happen tomorrow. It is the part of you that still feels a quiet pang of wonder at a beautiful sunset or a moment of connection with a piece of music. It is the part of you that chose to listen to these words tonight. That choice, in itself, is the proof that the ember is there. You have not given up completely. Some small, quiet part of you still believes that change is possible, that a different feeling is available, and that small part is all we need. Tonight, our only task is to find this ember and to gently, tenderly nurture it. There is no pressure here. We are not trying to force it to become a roaring fire. That would be too much, too soon. A tiny, starved ember can be extinguished by too much fuel or too much air all at once. Our approach will be one of profound gentleness. We are simply going to create a safe, warm, and protected space around it, allowing it to breathe, allowing it to glow in its own time. So, let your awareness drift inward, like a gentle hand searching in the soft darkness of your own heart space. Don't search frantically. Just let your attention rest in the center of your chest. Breathe into this space. And as you do, simply set the intention to connect with this small, quiet part of you. You might not see it or feel it dramatically at first. It might be just a subtle sense of warmth, a flicker of feeling that is not sadness or weariness. It might be a fleeting memory of a time you felt joyful or excited. It might be a faint stirring of interest in a new idea or a new possibility. Whatever form it takes, however small, just acknowledge it. Ah, you can say to yourself, there you are. I see you. This act of gentle, loving attention is like cupping your hands around a tiny flame to protect it from the wind. You are shielding it from the harsh winds of your inner critic, from the cynical voice that says, it's no use, from the heavy blanket of hopelessness. You are creating a small sanctuary of possibility within yourself. This ember is your true north. It is your quiet, inner guide that has been with you all along, even when you couldn't hear its voice. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It doesn't give you a detailed 5-year plan. It just offers the next gentle nudge, the next small pull of curiosity. What about this? It might whisper. What if you tried that? For a long time, you may have ignored these whispers, believing them to be foolish or naive in the face of your very real pain and disappointment. You may have told the ember to be quiet, to be realistic, but the ember, in its infinite patience, has simply waited. It has kept its small glow alive, waiting for you to be ready to listen again. Nurturing this ember means allowing yourself to feel a small flicker of want without judgment. Perhaps you want to feel the sun on your skin. Perhaps you want to taste a particular food. Perhaps you want to listen to an old, beloved song. These are not grand, life-altering goals. They are the small, simple desires of the life force within you. Allowing yourself to follow one of these small desires is like adding a tiny dry twig to the ember. It gives it a little fuel. It helps it glow a little brighter. There is no pressure for this to lead anywhere. The goal is simply the feeling of following that gentle pull, of honoring that small spark of aliveness. In the analogy, this ember is your true north, a quiet guide that has been with you all along. A compass doesn't tell you how to navigate the terrain. It doesn't warn you about the mountains or the rivers you will have to cross. It provides only one simple, unwavering piece of information: the direction of north. Your inner ember is like that. It doesn't provide a map for your life. It simply points toward what feels true, what feels alive, what feels like you. In your periods of confusion and feeling lost, it's likely you were trying to navigate with your mind alone, using old maps and logical calculations, and you ended up feeling more lost than ever. To begin to trust the ember is to learn a new way of navigating. It is to learn to orient yourself, not by external landmarks, but by this internal sense of warmth and rightness. This is the beginning of a journey back to yourself. It is a quiet, internal homecoming. As you rest here, imagine you can gently blow on this ember, not a forceful breath, but a soft, warm, life-giving breath. See the ember glow a little more brightly with each exhale. With each breath, you are offering it your attention, your care, your belief. You are whispering to it, it's okay to glow. It's safe to be alive. I am here with you now. Feel the subtle shift this creates in your inner landscape. The vast, cold darkness doesn't disappear all at once, but now there's a small, central point of light and warmth. This light is enough. It is a focal point for your hope. It is a reminder that even in the deepest night, the potential for a new day exists within you. Do not despise the smallness of this beginning. All great fires start with a single spark. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The healing of a lifetime begins with this, the gentle, compassionate acknowledgement of the small, indestructible spark of hope within you. Protect this feeling as you drift toward sleep. Let it be the last sensation you are aware of. This tiny, warm, quiet glow in the center of your being. It is your most precious possession. It is the seed of your future joy, the source of your resilience, the quiet hum of your own true song. It has waited for you with infinite patience, and tonight you have finally come home to it. There is nothing else you need to do. Simply rest in its gentle, promising warmth. Let it light your way into your dreams. As we draw these threads together, let us rest now in a deep and calming truth, allowing it to settle not just in the mind, but in the very cells of your body. This is the truth that your life is not over. Your story is not finished. In fact, a new chapter can begin at any moment, even this one. This isn't wishful thinking or a hollow platitude. It is the fundamental nature of a human life. We are not static beings, carved in stone. We are dynamic, flowing, ever-changing creatures, capable of profound transformation at any age, in any circumstance. The person you were yesterday does not have to define the person you are today, and the person you are today does not have to dictate the person you can become tomorrow. Integrating this truth means gently releasing the narrative of finality. For so long, you may have lived with a sense of a door having been closed, a chance having been missed, a verdict having been delivered. But there is no final verdict in the courtroom of a life until the very last breath. Until then, every moment is a fresh beginning, a clean page, a new opportunity to choose a different thought, a different feeling, a different action. This is not about erasing your past. On the contrary, it is about finally honoring your unique path as whole and complete, exactly as it has been. This is a crucial step. You cannot begin a new chapter if you are still at war with the previous ones. Integration means making peace with your entire story. It means looking back at the winding road you have traveled, with all of its quiet pools, its dark forests, and its difficult climbs, and saying, "This was my path, all of it, and it has brought me here." There is a deep power in this radical acceptance. It is the end of the struggle. It is the end of wishing things had been different. When you make peace with your past, you reclaim all the energy you were using to fight it, to regret it, to resent it. And that reclaimed energy becomes the fuel for your new beginning. It becomes the creative life force you can now invest in your present and your future. Imagine gathering all the parts of your story, all the versions of yourself you have been, and inviting them to sit together in a council of peace within you. The hopeful child, the confused adolescent, the wounded young adult, the patient survivor. None of them are to be judged or exiled. All are to be honored for the role they played. They all did the best they could with the understanding they had. By welcoming them all home, you become whole. You are no longer fragmented by regret or shame. You become the wise, compassionate elder of your own inner tribe, capable of holding your entire history with love. Now, let's hold a new affirmation, perhaps the most important one of all. Let it sink into the deepest layers of your being. My worth is not defined by a timeline of achievements. My being here is enough. Say it again to yourself, silently. My worth is not defined by a timeline of achievements. My being here is enough. Feel the profound relief in these words. This statement dismantles the entire faulty architecture of the myth of the single timeline. It releases you from the prison of comparison. It unhooks you from the frantic external chase for validation. Your worth is not in what you have done or what you will do. Your worth is inherent. It was sealed into your being at the moment of your conception. It is in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the unique constellation of atoms that makes up you. You do not have to earn it. You cannot lose it. You are worthy simply because you are. You are a unique expression of life, a note in the symphony of the universe that no one else can sing. To believe that your worth is contingent on your achievements is like believing that a star is only worthy if it is the biggest and brightest in the sky. Every star contributes its own light to the beauty of the night. Every life contributes its own unique presence to the fabric of existence. Your presence here, on this planet, matters. Your journey, with all its unique contours, has value. Integrating this wisdom means you can begin to move forward from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack. For so long, you may have been operating from a deficit model, thinking, I need to achieve X in order to feel worthy. I need to find Y in order to be whole. This creates a life of desperate striving. But when you start from the foundational belief that I am already worthy, I am already whole, your motivation for action changes completely. You no longer act to prove yourself. You act to express yourself. You no longer create to fill a void. You create from a place of overflow. You no longer seek a partner to complete you. You seek a partner to share your completeness with. This is a seismic shift. It is the difference between a life driven by fear and a life guided by love. Your story is still being written, and from this moment forward, you can choose to write it with a new pen, with the ink of self-worth and self-acceptance. You get to decide what the next chapter is about. It doesn't have to be a dramatic plot twist. It can be a very quiet chapter. Perhaps the next chapter is simply titled Peace, or Self-Compassion, or Gentle Curiosity. You are the author. You have the power to choose the theme. As you lie here on the cusp of sleep, you are also on the cusp of a new chapter. Sleep itself is a profound act of integration. It is when the body and mind process the experiences of the day, healing, repairing, and preparing for the new. Tonight, You are not just processing the events of the past 24 hours. You are inviting your entire being to process and integrate this new, kinder, more truthful story about your life. You are giving your nervous system permission to stand down from high alert, to release the chronic tension of feeling behind. You are letting every part of you know that the race is over, and you have already won, simply by being here. The beauty of this realization is that it frees you from the pressure to have an extraordinary life. You are free to have an ordinary life and to find the extraordinary within it. The extraordinary is not in the grand achievements. It is in the quality of your presence. It is in the ability to savor a cup of tea, to feel the warmth of the sun, to truly listen to another human being, to feel a moment of quiet gratitude for the beat of your own heart. This is where life is truly lived. And this is a place you can access right now. You don't need to wait for anything to change. The door to a meaningful life is not in the future. It is in this present moment. And the key is your own loving, accepting awareness. Rest in this profound and simple truth. Your journey has been perfect. Your worth is absolute. Your story is still unfolding, and the best may be yet to come. Let this deep sense of peace be the cradle that rocks you into a deep and healing sleep. You are whole. You are worthy. You are enough. Now, from this place of deep integration and self-acceptance, let's create a space for what is to come. This is not about planning or striving. It is a much softer, more receptive process. We are going to gently and intentionally create an open, welcoming space in your heart for a new feeling or experience to enter your life. Think of it as preparing a beautiful, quiet room for a guest who may soon arrive. You don't know exactly who the guest is or when they will come, but you are making the space ready. You are dusting the furniture, opening the window to let in fresh air, and placing a small vase of wildflowers on the table. You are creating an atmosphere of invitation. For a long time, the rooms of your heart may have been occupied by old tenants, grief, regret, loneliness, and the fear that it was too late. We have spent this time together gently helping these old occupants to leave, thanking them for the lessons they taught, and wishing them well on their way. Now, there is an emptiness. But this is not a frightening, desolate emptiness. It is a sacred emptiness. It is the fertile void, the space of pure potential from which all new creation arises. We will not rush to fill this space. Instead, we will simply hold it open with a sense of gentle, patient curiosity. In this open space, we are going to plant a silent seed of intention. This is very different from setting a goal. A goal is a product of the mind. It is specific, measurable, and often tied to external outcomes. I will get a new job, or I will find a partner. These goals can be helpful, but they can also bring back the old energy of pressure and striving. An intention, on the other hand, is a product of the heart. It is a feeling, a quality of being, a state of consciousness you wish to invite into your life. It is softer, more fluid, and it focuses on the internal experience rather than the external form. So, as you rest here in this quiet, open space within you, ask your heart a gentle question. What feeling would I most like to welcome into my life now? Don't let your mind answer. Just listen for the quiet resonance of your heart. Perhaps the word that arises is peace, or connection, or joy. It might be creativity, vitality, safety, or belonging. There is no right or wrong answer. Just listen for the word that feels like a soothing balm to your soul. the feeling that your being has been quietly longing for. Once you have your word, your feeling, hold it gently. Don't grasp it tightly. Just let it rest in the center of your awareness, like a precious seed you are holding in the palm of your hand. This is your seed of intention. Let's say, for example, the feeling you chose is peace. You are not going to command yourself to feel peaceful. You are not going to create a list of things you must do to achieve peace. You are simply going to plant the seed of peace into the fertile, open space in your heart. Imagine placing this small, luminous seed into the rich, dark soil of your inner being. And then you are going to trust the process. You are going to trust that the seed knows how to grow. It has its own innate intelligence. All it needs is the right conditions, the warmth of your gentle attention, the water of your self-compassion, and the space to unfold in its own time. This leads us to the most important part of this practice, releasing the how and the when. This is an act of profound trust. The mind will immediately want to jump in and figure it out. How will I find peace? What are the steps? When will it happen? We are going to ask the mind to gently step aside. The how and the when are not your business. They belong to the mystery of life itself. Your only task is to tend to the soil of your own being, to keep your heart open and receptive. You are the gardener, not the seed. You create the conditions, but you cannot force the growth. By releasing the outcome, you allow for life to bring you this feeling in ways you could never have planned or imagined. Peace might not arrive in the form of a silent meditation retreat. It might arrive in the form of a quiet conversation with a stranger, in the unexpected forgiveness of an old hurt, or in the simple act of watching the rain fall outside your window. Joy might not come from a big celebration, but from the purr of a cat, the taste of a fresh strawberry, or the discovery of a new song that makes your heart sing. When you are fixated on a specific outcome, a specific how, you can miss the 1,000 subtle ways that life is trying to bring you the very feeling you are seeking. By planting the seed of intention and then letting go, you are saying to the universe, "This is the feeling my soul is ready for. I trust you to bring it to me in the perfect way and the perfect time. My heart is open." This is an incredibly powerful stance. It is a co-creation. You are doing your part, clarifying your intention, tending to your inner state, and you are allowing the larger intelligence of life to do its part. As you lie here, drifting toward sleep, hold the feeling of your intention gently in your body. Don't think the word, feel the quality. If your seed is peace, feel a wave of calm washing through you. If it's joy, feel a gentle, smiling warmth in your chest. If it's connection, feel a sense of being softly held and understood. Let this feeling be the lullaby that sings you to sleep. You are planting this seed in the most fertile ground of all, the subconscious mind during the state of sleep. As you rest, your deeper consciousness will be working with this intention, aligning your energy and preparing you to notice and receive the manifestations of this feeling when you awaken. You are not just ending your day. You are seeding your tomorrow. There is no effort in this. It is a practice of surrender, surrendering the need to control, surrendering the anxiety of the timeline, surrendering the old belief that you have to make everything happen all by yourself. You are allowing yourself to be supported, to be guided, to be a partner with the flow of life. You have made the room in your heart ready. You have planted the beautiful seed. Now, all that is left to do is rest in the quiet, hopeful trust that something new and wonderful can and will grow. We have journeyed far tonight through the landscapes of the heart and mind. We have witnessed our grief, honored our strength, and planted a new seed of intention. Now, the time for active inner work is coming to a close. The night deepens, and the gentle pull of sleep becomes stronger. It is time to release the mind from its beautiful and important work of healing, and to gently, lovingly, return to the simple, profound wisdom of the body. It is time to shift from story to sensation. For the past while, we have been engaged with narratives. The old story of being left behind, and the new story of acceptance and hope. These stories are important. They shape our reality. But to enter the deep restorative state of sleep, we must eventually let go of all narratives, all pasts, all futures. We must arrive fully in the pure, non-verbal reality of the present moment, as it is experienced through the senses. Sleep is a primal, physical process. It is the body's sacred ritual of rest and repair. To welcome it, we must speak its language, which is not the language of words and thoughts, but the language of physical sensation. So, let your awareness begin to gently disengage from the concepts we have been exploring. Let the words fade into the background, like a conversation drifting away from another room. And bring your attention, with a soft and curious focus, to the simple, undeniable sensations of your body lying here. Start with the feeling of weight. Notice the gentle but firm pull of gravity holding you. Feel the specific points where your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. Your heels, your calves, the backs of your thighs, your hips, your shoulders, the back of your head. At each of these points, allow yourself to feel a little heavier. Give the weight of your body over completely to the support of the bed. You do not need to hold yourself up. You are being held. Let go of any residual tension, any subtle effort to keep yourself together. Let your bones feel heavy, your muscles feel soft and slack. Imagine you are a stone sinking gently into warm, soft sand. There is nothing to do, just the simple, profound sensation of being supported. Now, bring your awareness to the sensation of touch. Feel the softness of the blankets or sheets against your skin. Notice their texture, their temperature. Feel the gentle pressure where they rest upon you. Feel the air in the room on any exposed parts of your skin, like your face or your hands. Is it cool? Is it still? Just notice. There is no need to label it as good or bad. It is just a sensation. Let these simple feelings of touch ground you, anchoring you in the physical reality of this safe and comfortable space. You are here. You are safe. You are warm. Now, let's return to the most fundamental sensation of all, the rhythm of your own breathing. But this time, we will notice it in a new way. We are not trying to change it or use it for any purpose. We are simply feeling it as a pure physical event. Feel the subtle expansion in your chest or your belly as the breath flows in. Feel the gentle release and softening as the breath flows out. You don't have to do the breathing. The breathing is being done for you. It is a natural, effortless tide, rising and falling. Let your awareness rest upon this gentle rhythm, like a small boat rocking on a calm sea. If your mind wanders back to a thought or a story, and it will, for that is its nature, gently and without judgment, guide it back, not to a concept, but to a sensation. Back to the feeling of weight. Back to the feeling of the blankets. Back to the feeling of the breath. Each time you do this, you are strengthening your ability to be present. You are teaching your nervous system that it is safe to let go of the thinking mind and to rest in the quiet wisdom of the body. Deepening your relaxation now, you can let go of all narratives. Let go of the story of who you are. Let go of the story of where you have been. Let go of the story of where you are going. For these next few moments, as you hover on the edge of sleep, you are simply a breathing body, resting in a quiet room. There are no problems to solve. There are no decisions to be made. There is no one you need to be. This is a profound act of release. It is the ultimate Sabbath for the mind. Imagine your thoughts are like leaves floating down a gentle stream. You are sitting on the bank, just watching them drift by. You don't need to grab onto them, analyze them, or follow them downstream. You just notice them as they appear and watch them as they float away. A thought about yesterday appears and floats by. A worry about tomorrow appears and floats by. The story of me floats by. You are the silent, peaceful witness resting on the bank. The stream of thought will gradually slow down. The spaces between the leaves will grow longer. And in these spaces, there's a deep, quiet peace. This is the gateway to sleep. The body knows how to heal. The soul knows how to rest. Our only task is to get the thinking mind out of the way and allow these natural processes to unfold. By focusing on pure sensation, you are giving your mind a simple, soothing task that allows the deeper intelligence of your being to take over. You are signaling to your entire system that the day is done, the work is complete, and it is now time for profound, uninterrupted rest. So just rest here now, in this field of simple sensation. The feeling of being held, the feeling of being warm, the feeling of the gentle, rhythmic tide of your own breath. This is your home base. This is the truth of the present moment. It is always here for you, a safe harbor where you can anchor yourself when the seas of thought become stormy. There is nothing left to analyze, nothing to figure out. All that is left is this simple, peaceful, physical being. You have done enough. You are enough. Now, simply allow. Allow the relaxation to deepen. Allow the mind to quiet. Allow the gentle, healing waves of sleep to wash over you. They are coming now, drawing you down into a place of perfect peace and stillness. And so, we arrive at the threshold, the quiet, liminal space between waking and dreaming. The work is done. The thoughts have been softened. The body is at rest. Now, there is only the gentle act of surrender. Your story, with all its beautiful, complex, and evolving chapters, will be there for you in the morning. It will be waiting for you, safe and sound, ready for its next line to be written. You can let it go for now. You can entrust it to the quiet wisdom of the night. Sleep is not an escape from your life. It is a vital part of it. It is the sacred fallow time where the seeds you have planted can germinate in the dark, where the healing you have invited can take place on a cellular level, where the integration of all that you have learned can happen beyond the reach of the conscious mind. It is a journey into the mystery, a return to the source. Think of this drift into sleep not as an ending of the day, but as a homecoming. All day long, your consciousness has been projected outward, engaging with the world, navigating its challenges, processing its information. Now, It is time for your consciousness to return, to draw back from the edges of your life and come to rest in the very center of your being. This is a journey of a few inches, from the busy mind to the quiet heart, but it is the most important journey you can take. There is nothing left for you to do now but rest. Allow the language of deep surrender to be the final music you hear. Surrender the need to understand everything. Surrender the last vestiges of control. Surrender the weight of your own identity for a little while. Allow yourself to become vast, formless, and peaceful, like the night sky itself. Sleep is coming now, not as something you must chase or capture, but as a gentle tide returning to the shore. You can feel it drawing near, a sense of pleasant heaviness in your limbs, a slowing of the stream of thought, a soft blurring at the edges of your awareness. Do not resist this tide. Welcome it. Let it wash over you, cleansing you of the residue of the day, soothing the tired places in your mind and body. This is a benevolent force, a healing presence. It is the Great Mother, Nature herself, rocking you into a state of profound peace. It is safe to let go. It is safe to dissolve. You will be remade in the quiet alchemy of the night, and you will return in the morning, refreshed and renewed. What if the years you thought were lost were actually a deep, slow, inward breath, a gathering of energy, of wisdom, of potential? And what if the next phase of your life is the long, slow, powerful exhale? A releasing of all that you have gathered into the world in a form that is uniquely and beautifully your own. The timing has never been wrong. It has only been mysterious. Rest in that mystery now. Let it hold you. The answers you seek are not found in frantic thought, but in the deep, resonant silence that sleep provides. Trust that the part of you that knows the way is at the helm now. Your conscious, striving self can finally take a rest. You have done so well. You have navigated so much. And now, your only task is to receive the gift of rest. Feel the last edges of your awareness dissolving into a deep, velvety peace. The shore is disappearing. You are drifting out into the calm, silent, healing ocean of sleep. There is nothing left to do now but rest and allow the night to hold you. Sleep is coming now, peaceful and deep.